Jeff, you're so down, man.
I've never lost a bet quite like this one. This is bad, man. This is sucking the life out of me.
Well, you look good in orange and blue. You're welcome to come over anytime. As you can recall, the Broncos and Chiefs played a couple weeks ago, and Jeff's team was on the other end of that. And,
We lost at Arrowhead.
how we do.
You had 2 completions.
We had 2 completions. One was for a touchdown, one was a bubble screen. Each Juniata had something similar. All right, boys, let's get right into this. Welcome back. I'm sorry we missed last week. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. You know, we're still feeling the symptoms as we're packing on the pounds and going right into Christmas. But I'm going to start right away with Mr. Matt Forte in Chicago. Last week he hurt his knee, had a pretty severe injury at first glance, but luckily it was only a grade 2 MCL sprain injury.
A lot better than a 20 ACL.
A lot better than a torn ACL, which I and everybody else kind of thought was. Luckily, as a fan, I'm happy that Forte's out this week because he's going to Denver to play my Broncos. But if I'm Matt Forte, he's already done all he can to put his pelts on the wall and say, listen, I'm going to play the year out. I'm going to put it all on the line. I'll play for my contract. I'll get it after the season. This dude has gone out there every week and performed. He is that offense. Don't give me Jay Diabetes Cutler. It's Matt Forte making that thing go, okay? Matt Forte, if I were you, I wouldn't play another down for Jerry Angelo and the Chicago Bears. Simply put, I'd park my butt on the couch and let them do the work because Forte, he needs paid. Pay the man.
He's running behind a bad offensive line and still producing. I mean, you saw what happened when he went out of that game. You know, as much as I love to think the Chiefs' defense has made progress, they are not 7 sacks in a game good. Their pass rush is not that good. So yeah, he needs paid. You know, on to our next topic. On to a former Chief, Jared Allen. And a couple weeks ago, we talked about how much it stinks to get kicked in the balls.
Yeah, that's no good.
No fun at all. But for those of you that, hopefully everyone's seen it because it was hilarious. Ray Edwards plays for the Atlanta Falcons. Am I wrong about that?
That's correct.
He plays for the Atlanta Falcons.
Stop.
Jared Allen plays for the Minnesota Vikings. Going back, they played 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Okay. So they played 2 weeks ago. Jared Allen actually played long snapper in college, and as an emergency, he came in for the Vikings to be the long snapper. Him and Ray Edwards are still to this day very good friends because they used to be teammates. And apparently Jared Allen said to Ray Edwards before the play, if you blow me up on this play, I'm going to punch you square in the wiener. Okay? Exact words. And anytime you say wiener, it's funny because it's just one of those words you can get away with because for whatever reason we accept it as appropriate. So anyway, if you watch the video...
Something about Mary to thank for that one.
Yeah, Ray Edwards attempts to blow up Jared Allen.
He does.
He
runs
him over. Jared Allen gets up, looks right at him, and punches him right in the goodies. It was hilarious.
It was great.
For anyone watching, if you haven't seen that, please go to ProFootballTalk.com, look it up. Jared Allen talking about it. There's even an interview with him talking about it, explaining why he punched Ray Edwards in the wiener. It's the lighter side of getting hit below the belt.
We'll do you all a favor. Here's the clip right here.
Got a clue. Baby, I'm howling for you.
On to our next topic. Andy Reid, Kento, what's going on there?
Alright, let me back you Eagles fans off this curb. Let me get you off this cliff. Alright, listen. I know you boys are struggling. I know you're screaming for Andy Reid's head. Listen, I've been there. I've been screaming for people's heads too. The grass ain't always greener on the other side of that fence. Last I checked, the Eagles have had two losing seasons since Reid was hired. You guys have been to 3 NFC Championship games. I know you only got to the big one once. You tell me who they're gonna hire if they fire Andy Reid. Fawva and all, this guy can coach, okay? Andy Reid, he's the reason why Kevin Cobb got a new deal. He's the reason why Mike Vick cleaned his life up. He's the reason why Donovan McNabb got shipped off before he showed how crappy he is wearing an Eagles jersey. You do not get rid of Andy Reid. He is the best coach available for your team at this time. give him another year. You don't blow the team up. I think you kick Deshaun Jackson off this team, cut him, whatever. Don't pay this guy. Jeff has some thoughts on that in a minute. But Andy Reid is your coach for next year. You get a defensive coordinator. You retool a little bit. You move some pieces around, but you don't blow this up. I don't think the Eagles are going to do it.
Just a couple things to go along with what you're saying. First of all, as a Chiefs fan, I look back to Marty Schottenheimer. The Chiefs were the winningest team in the 90s because of Marty. And because he had a couple years where things didn't go well, he brought in a few too many head cases, kind of like the Eagles have with Deshaun Jackson, and he got shipped out of town. And at the time I was on board. I was like, yeah, Marty's outstayed his welcome, let's get rid of him. I almost guarantee you if the Chiefs had that to do over, they would have given Marty a lot, because Marty Schottenheimer is a great coach, but it got overlooked because he had a couple bad years. Speaking of winningest teams, who's won more games than the Eagles in the last 10 years? It's one team. The Indianapolis Colts are the only team to win more games in the last 10 years than the Philadelphia Eagles. So my point with that is, don't let one bad year overwhelm your thoughts on the tenure as a whole.
Right.
I agree with you about Deshaun Jackson. The only way you bring him back is if you give him a 2-year deal that's incentive laden, give him a chance to reprove himself. Yes, he's been underpaid for previous years, but the book on Deshaun Jackson's out. The book is this: he's going to run deep, and if he runs across the middle, we're going to make sure we hit him. And after he gets hit twice, he's not even going to run those deep routes that hard unless it's a blown coverage. So Deshaun's overrated, and you know what? The talent on that team as a whole is overrated. It really is. You look at the linebackers, they stink. The safeties, they stink. The offensive line stinks. And Vic takes a lot of hits. Vic's a big play waiting to happen, but he's also a bad throw waiting to happen.
Excuse me, Jeff. I don't think Vic has ever played 16 games in his career.
No, and part of that is his fault because he needs to get down, but part of it's not his fault because he gets hit on the 3-step drop. He's getting hit all the time. But I think you keep Andy Reid. Worst case scenario, you give him one more year and you say, hey Andy, we're going to make moves to fix the problems, and it's up to you to coach them. That's where I go there.
Well, we're going to switch to a team that doesn't have problems right now. We talking the Denver Broncos, kids. Listen, you all haters, shut up! That's what. The Broncos are winning. It may be ugly, but he's winning. The Broncos are winning, not Tebow. Tebow's part of it. He's had his hand in it. The defense is playing on fire. All right, you haven't had a chance to watch the Broncos. They are a different team on defense. They're opportunistic. They're making plays when they need to. Will Smith, if you don't get to the Pro Bowl, that's a farce. This is ridiculous. This guy is like 114 yards away from 1,000 on the season. This guy is playing like a man possessed. He's a great, great addition to our team. Bears are coming to town. I wish Diabetes was playing, but he's not. He's got the broken thumb. Too bad he was sucking it too much. He cries so much. He'll be on the sidelines. I hope the Mile High faithful crucify this kid standing there with his pumpkin pie, haircutted fruitcake hairdo.
Jason doesn't like Jay Cutler.
This guy, Cutler, Broncos, baby. Broncos win this weekend, 13-10.
Good pick. And Von Miller coming back is a huge boost for them.
How many sacks are Vaughn this week? No homer. 3.
If the Broncos get a lead, he could get 4 or 5. If it's a close game, he might get 1 or 2, only because I think Von Miller has proven himself to the point teams will start doubling him and taking their chance with Doomerville. As good as Doomerville is, I think Miller has reached the point where
I've seen it.
Teams fear him more than Doomerville.
Doing it.
So, but hey, I can see it going either way. Our next game, Green Bay versus Oakland. Hey, you know what? The only thing I will say for Oakland, they have a lot of very athletic corners that can match up with the Green Bay wide receivers.
Do they have 6 athletic corners?
Yeah, you're right. That could be a problem. But my point with that was, the guy that I see killing the Raiders is Jermichael Finley.
Yeah.
Now I heard
Unless
Rolando
McClain shoots him.
Yeah, I was gonna say McClain. I heard McClain's really good with a Glock, but he's not that good in coverage.
No.
And I think Finley creates problems. And then if the Raiders if they're forced to go to zone coverage, which they probably will be, the Pack, I don't care what zone you play cover 2, 3, 4, 1. over 2, under 3. It doesn't matter. If you play zone, Rodgers kills you. I think the Packers win 31. I think they win 31-20, but the Raiders scored late to make the score look better than it really is.
But a dominating game.
Yeah, a dominant 31-20.
Alright guys, I was going to go to our last game of the week, the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys, but I have something better. As you can see, Jeff is wearing the Broncos garb because he lost his bet. He has told me personally that he is not yet on board. Well kids, I'm inviting you to see live, right now, something that has only been shown right now. I'm offering Jeff a chance to take a sip of the Tim Tebow Kool-Aid. Here's the Kool-Aid. Here's the cup. Here is his ticket to the Denver Broncos bandwagon. I'm giving it to you. Take it, my brother. The opportunity is right there. I'll leave it for you to think about. Broncos, Bears. Broncos, out.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's
Awesome.
Throw the ball to the stick, swing and miss, and the catcher's mitts